Hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello.
Welcome to our neck of the woods.
What a day, what a day.
Hey,
Beautiful out
Ship,
there.
Dawn,
How you
Pappy.
guys y'all doing out there? Beautiful day out there. Yeah, we cleaned them out. So he said 6 to 7 Gaylords a week. So I told him, I said, see you next week.
We're talking about our lovely free wood.
We get our kindling from a Amish factory down here, furniture factory. And here, I'll show you what it looks like. And these are just pieces these are pieces that we cut up. This is what we get from down there at this furniture factory. This is oak.
Kiln dried.
And it's about 3 foot long. And we cut it up into two cuts. And it's 3 pieces per stick. We have them as thick as that and even thicker down to really super thin and even thinner, I think, actually. Well, let me see if I got some here.
I had to get my coffee, guys. I'll join you in a second.
So, I mean, and they just do all kinds of different sizes. Oops, there it is. So, it's kiln dried oak, no paint, no stain.
No treatment.
No treatments on it. I can burn this in my fireplace. I love it. And they do huge Gaylords of them.
For free.
These Gaylords are almost about up to my armpit, these Gaylords. Normal Gaylords are about my waist, but these are up to my armpit, about another 1.5 to 2 feet. And they're just full, packed full. And all they do is get rid of it. They throw it out. So made a deal with them 2 years ago, and then there was an employee who didn't really do his job the right way, and last year we couldn't barely get any, and then this year it's been nothing but nonstop being able to get them. So as long as they don't have to pay to get rid of it, we don't mind.
So hello and welcome, family.
Yes.
Hope everybody is doing really well today. Man, I watched a most informative video this morning that I can't wait to go dig into. I know what he was saying.
Yeah. I made a big joke about that when I was at work too. It has a spot where it said Park. It said Gaylord's Park here.
Oh, it's so good to see you, man.
How are y'all? Good to see y'all.
Good. See that wall behind you there? Looking good.
Yeah, working on it, man. Got my, let's see.
Oh.
My A-frame set up.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, there we go.
Man, that's a lot of work.
Right on.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Totally worth it, though.
Takes time. Takes time for.
Your son helping you? Kids helping you out there?
He's kind of behind on his schoolwork. He's over there doing schoolwork today.
Well, we know how that goes.
I gotta say,
Brandon didn't want to do it hers yesterday either.
Gigi, man, be thankful for that blessing. Maybe that's your blessing. Anybody know about that? So I keep hearing, like, in all the different places that the mandate for Canada or for everywhere is going to end on the 21st, which is tomorrow.
Supposedly.
Does anybody know about that?
But that's the end of the EO, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to bring everybody's attention, not to bring the vibe down, but I wanted to bring to everybody's attention our First Nation people up in Canada. They're like sending military into their reservations on Black Lake and trying to forcibly jab the women and children of the tribe. And the women and children are running into the bush, and they're as cold as it is up there right now near Saskatchewan. And they're having to hide in the bush, man. Scary times. And nobody's saying anything about it. I saw it on Lake Ferry Prepper. If you guys get a chance, go check out her video about that Black Lake. If you put in Lake Ferry Prepper Black Lake, it'll pull it up. We gotta pray for them people. You know what I mean? Seriously. Need to send some love light their way.
I'd be very surprised with old Trudeau, however you say his name. I'd be very surprised. He seems like he's part of that agenda. I've heard him say some pretty scary stuff. Sorry.
Yeah. They're all a little freaky to me. I think the whole system needs tore down, if you ask me, but that's my opinion.
I was listening to Sage News the other day. He was talking about that, and he brought up a really good point. That the reason we get all of the trade contracts, and I'm not going to act like I am an expert on any of that stuff, but a lot of the reason why we get a lot of that stuff is the respect we have as a country. And it seems to me, my opinion, no matter which way everything goes, we're still going to lose that respect as a country. Even if we win, we still lose. And yeah, man. So
the entire world system that they have developed to control the populations of humanity, because that's what it boils down to. Governments are just that. They are a selected group of folks that are put in charge of governing people, ruling over people. And it's bullshit. I refuse to let them rule me. They don't dictate what I do. There's only one area in which they dictate what I do, and that is because I have to file paperwork to homeschool her every year. And that's the only paperwork I file. The rest of it, they can just shove it up their bum. I'm done with it.
That's right. I'm in the same place, man. I'm done with the information. I watch Sage. I like Sage. I like him a lot, but I'm not searching information like I was, man. I'm just at the point, just bring it, bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
You got to know which direction to turn is when it comes down to it.
I forgot to have Jeff send you them links last night, but I will have him send you those links for that 5 hour and the 4 hour. 5 hour one you're going to want to watch.
To be honest with you, I'd just rather not, man. I'd rather stay away from everything. I'm already screwed up in the head as it is. I'm trying to get back to free thinking.
Right on. Help me along that path.
Oh yeah, not a problem. And
you know how it is, man. It gets to be too much sometimes, and I know how much that will tax.
Oh, this ain't nothing about all this surface crap that they keep layering on us. Neither one of the videos that we don't send out stuff like that because it's pointless. That's all this surface crap, and quite frankly.
Well, the reason I turned that down, and let me just interrupt and say the reason I turned that down is because I have really screwed up my my mental state in the last few years, especially into the spiritual side of things, the spiritual side of me. I've looked too far into too many things, and I've got to a point where I don't even really know what the hell to believe in anymore. So I feel like kind of withdrawing from all that stuff will just let my soul find
You're connected to the divine is within yourself, and whatever path you take to get there is yours.
Right.
Nobody else can tell you that. Nobody else can show you the way. You can lead a horse to water. You can't force him to drink. You'll drown him first. Yeah. You know what I mean? So don't let anybody else tell you what path is right for you, Ship. You can't do that. None of us.
That's what I mean. I'm just going to follow my soul, my essence at this point. Follow the 10 Commandments. Do good. Hope good comes back, and kind of leave it there.
Right on.
I think all day, and that's what I mean is some people are blessed with the ability to be able to soak this stuff in and then just kind of go on with their day. I'm not that way, man. Once I read into something, I think about it all day. My wheels are always turning. It'd just be too much right now. I've got a lot of stuff.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. You get those gear factories fired up, and a little bit of smoke starts coming out.
Yeah,
we understand.
I think it's healthy to have more questions and answers because that means I'm getting closer to the truth. But that's my perspective on it. You know what I mean? So,
and then also at home, I'm being so heavily censored with my time that I'm allowed to YouTube and get online and everything. I'm being kind of shamed for a lot of stuff, and so that's why you see me in the woods. You probably won't see me at home on the live much, especially after last night. It's crazy, man. It just sometimes you can't change people's mind on some stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
Kiara.
Yeah, never that's mind, okay.
My live stream last night cost me a lot of drama.
Oh, hon, I'm sorry about that. Sorry to hear that. For sure.
We didn't disrupt you.
No, we just wanted to stop it and say hi.
It wasn't nothing to do with
it. We had the other night, but we didn't stop it and say anything because, well,
we're just being polite.
We were trying to be polite and let you. Lake Fairy, I was just talking about you. All good things, sister. All good things.
My wife just doesn't understand. Is all it is. She doesn't understand. She sees a lot of women here and there, and she doesn't understand YouTube is a public platform. People can comment. Nobody's ever said anything out of the way to me. In my opinion, nobody's done anything wrong. In her opinion, I'm kind of a piece of shit for being a YouTuber.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if
you're it's a bump in the road for you.
You're feeling that way, man, because we don't feel that way about you for sure.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, like I wanted to. I was going to ask if I asked Lake Fairy this morning when I came across her Black Lake video if I could show it. But if anybody can pop up her link real quick and pop it into chat. That way people can go over and check that out. And hey, Chuck, we do see you. Dawn, GG, everybody. Let's not forget, you guys, send some positive love, light energy Pappy Bear way today.
He's got his appointment.
He's got to go into town. Got to go see the doctor.
Doctor.
Seriously, though, I know I titled it Love Vibes, but I did that for a reason because, I mean, y'all hear me say it all the time, right? We got to, it is not easy, but you got to work through this with some love. And it's not always this easy to look at situations from that point of view, especially if you feel like you're getting attacked or whatever. Your first instinct is to fight back verbally or whatever, or to take on the feelings others have pointed your direction. And so it gets really difficult sometimes to be able to look at things from that point of view, from love. And we just got to keep going. We just got to keep pushing forward and never be afraid to reach out to somebody, because the one wonderful little thing about this tiny little family is that each and every one of us is willing to give the next person a hand up and help you up.
That's right. Yep, that's what it's all about.
Heck yeah! Thank you, Bonnie.
And hindsight is 2020.
Okay. Hindsight is a great teacher, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Something about that rearview mirror, but you can't live in it, just like you can't drive in it. So, you got to see the reflection of it and go, okay, I'll take that. I'll take a left next time instead of a right. Turn that damn car around. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, did y'all watch my water filter test video?
Your what?
My water filter test video.
No, I haven't seen that yet. You're not showing up in our thing. We have to go search you out.
I had a lot of setbacks, but overall, I know I told y'all about it, a while back when I was talking about it. That pool guy, the guy at the pool place, he lied to me, man. He jacked me around. He at first he told me, he's like, yeah, man, bring your samples down. I got this big machine. We can stick them in there, and you can get an exact reading by numbers of what everything is. And when I got all my samples worked up, which I worked very hard to do, I called him up, and he was like, hey, man, I really don't have any of that stuff. All I have is the little test strips like you get at Walmart. And I was like, well,
what?
I can do that. I can do that myself,
Right?
you know. I was like, man, I'll pay you double what you normally charge. You know, this is going to provide information for a lot of people. It's not like my kid's science project or something, you know. And
Right.
he was like, yeah, well, I'm sorry, man. That's all I can do. So I ended up finishing the video up with using the test strips, and I actually went and I learned more in the process. But I went and did the research on pH and alkalinity and everything, and what the numbers actually mean, and provided the best results I could. So it wasn't a complete fail, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's all right. Y'all should check it out. Maybe learn
And
something.
you guys, pop Ship's link in the chat, please. For anybody that doesn't know, Shipwreck does a lot of really great videos. He does some bushcraft stuff. He does like he's got a go bag, and he like walks you through it, you know. And it's different than a lot of these people out there who are sponsored or who are doing things, you know, whatever. He's doing this stuff firsthand for everybody. So I really think his content is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, we love you. And he's a really good dude. Don't let anybody tell you
notifications
different.
a couple times if you don't get something like we were having to do again. Gotta love YouTube.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Celtic, how you doing there, sir?
I can't believe Lake Fairy's in the chat.
I know.
I love you, Lake Fairy.
You're a sweetheart.
You don't know me, but I know you because I watch you.
Wow, we can't get YouTube up, so I'll right, slap that in there for you. There you go. Thank you, Bonnie.
Yeah, Bonnie, you rock. Pappy, you rock. You guys are awesome. You're all over it today. Oh, yeah, we went over on Zach's platform, that platform that Zach's been working on. And we're over on YouTube now as well, you guys.
Yep.
So if you can't ever find us on YouTube, you'll be able to find us on YourTube, YORE. And that is the platform that Zach Smouse, is that how you say his name? Smooth.
I believe it's Smooth.
Has been working on. And that dude is awesome. Man, that platform is awesome.
I've been meaning to ask about that. Is that actually his platform? Like he created that platform?
The website, the YourTube.net, if I'm not mistaken, is between him and another gentleman. And then the Your Spot, the app for your phone, is what Zach's working on, which coincides with the YourTube, if I'm not mistaken.
And Celtic, he's doing the Your Spot.
Is that correct,
which
Celtic?
Which is the mobile app, I think, too. Well, he's working on the project with somebody. That is
awesome. I like Zach, man.
Yeah. Zach is awesome, man. He really is. So, yeah, check it out.
He works for the founder. He works for the founder.
Well,
right. Still, he's a part of the up and coming YourTube, and he's the one that's been working.
Zach's awesome.
I believe it's part of the coding and
support
whatnot.
His work. Actually, it runs really smooth. That platform is so smooth.
I like it.
It plays videos better than BitChute, in my opinion, and Rumble, in my opinion. And it's not as big as either one of them, but it does perform better than both of them.
Yeah. And you can upload.
Zach and Bryson. Yeah, Bryson was here yesterday, Gigi.
You can upload, or you can import. And I like it because of the import part, because once we get done with our show here, all I got to do is just go right over to YourTube, click on the import, put the link of our show from YouTube in it, put it as a homesteading or whatever, click submit, and within a minute and a half, it's up on YourTube.
That's
I don't have to upload anything. It takes it right from YouTube.
Pop that up there on the screen for everybody.
So that's what I like about it, because I don't have to no upload times. And yeah, it's up and coming. There's only like 65 channels completely on that platform, and they're still growing.
It's real small, but it's really cool.
And it's like she said, it's really nice layout. It's really easy to work with.
We don't get that many views over here on YouTube, but on YourTube,
well,
we had a generic title for one show, and we got like 750 views on it. And I was just like, whoa. I've never seen that number that
and then
high.
after that, it's only been 3 and 4 views, but it's slowly.
That's awesome. That means the word's getting out there.
Yeah, it's slowly getting there.
And what else? Oh, can you guys put Farmer Sun Prepping also in the chat? He does some really awesome stuff too. I don't know if you're here, Farmer, or not. He usually is. He usually drops by.
Gotcha. Thank you, Blake.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Yeah, and the Patriot Brothers is Zach's channel, and you'll catch Appalachian Reaper over there. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's really cool too. Him
and Zach do shows together.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, they're good people. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You're more than welcome, Celtic. I'm just not understanding we're underneath people on blogs, but it's not really, I guess it's people, but it's not blogs, but it's not news, and it's just kind of like social, but I don't know. I mean, it works great. I like it, but I thought different categories, I guess. I don't know. Put too many, then it's so much to choose from.
This is Mom's dinner tonight. I might give you some. I might be persuaded.
I might get a bite.
Might be persuaded.
Get a fry.
Butter, salt, pepper on that.
I love butternut squash, acorn squash. Acorn squash is actually my favorite.
It's our favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it in the fried daddy.
Throw it in the fried daddy.
No, I bake it with just butter, salt, and pepper.
Yeah.
And it is just low and slow. And oh my gosh, it is amazing. And this is perfect for fall time meals. Any of these squashes, because you can make a whole meal out of this thing. You can do one with like butter, salt, and pepper, and do the other one with like nutmeg and cinnamon and butter, and you'll have a little bit of if you like a sweeter flavor.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He has a massive sweet tooth, but he doesn't like his squash sweet.
Nope.
So
I like salt, pepper, butter. That's it.
Oh yeah, my mama makes a squash and corn casserole for Thanksgiving every year. It's pretty awesome.
I've heard of that.
I'll bet that's good. Kind of like a succotash.
Covered in cheddar cheese. It's got celery in it. It's so good.
Ooh. I would be interested in getting that recipe.
Yeah, it's good. I know pretty close to what she does. She takes and she'll take the squash. I think she boils it a little bit. She'll take some whole kernel corn, and she'll mix in cream of celery, and kind of mix that all together, and then put cheddar cheese on top, and throw it in the oven. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's awesome.
I'd try it.
See, I
try it.
Cheddar, like a sharp cheddar or just a mild cheddar. I bet the sharp cheddar would be really good.
Yeah, sharp cheddar. It kind of gives you that both the sweet and the dark cheese. It's awesome.
That dry cheese flavor.
That nice aged. Oh, that aged, I bet that is epic. Yeah.
Hubbard squash?
I don't think I've ever had Hubbard squash. Or I've had it and didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one. For spaghetti and acorn and butternut. Yeah. Well, there are some out there that are like that.
You know the great thing about squash, when you make squash, you don't have to use any plates. You know, you could do it in a campfire. You could do yourself a squash in a campfire. You know, wrap it up like a potato and put it in the coals, right? You put your butter and salt and pepper in the middle, and let it cook while you do whatever. And then just pop that bad boy open and eat it right out of the skin. Oh my gosh. Hey, Ronan. Good to see you, bud.
Hey, Ronan. Hi-ho. LHS.
Hi, LHS. Anna. Anybody we've missed?
Everybody else we may have missed.
I hadn't really planned too much of a conversation today. I had so many things flying through my head that it makes it hard for me to focus on any one thing. So, you guys already knew that though, right?
That's that chronic memory loss.
What's that again?
Really?
I forgot what we were talking about.
What were we talking about again?
Hey, I'm bad about that, man. I'm serious. Y'all catch me on a live stream whenever I'm about an hour and a half in. Yeah. Memory loss. So bad.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling.
Get me some more coffee. I had to extend my morning into my afternoon.
Out of that scrap wood we've been getting, I'll have to show you guys a couple pieces. We got 4 round tables today. They call it scrap, and they're all pre-drilled. All the holes are drilled in and everything. Those tables, see maybe about that big around. It's like a little small, like if you walk into like a
2-person
Starbucks
table.
Yeah, it's like one of those kind of tables where you like walk into like a Starbucks. It's a little, like a bar table, I guess you could say, but it's for a couple people. Well, the rounds were in there. They're in that scrap, even though it's got a gouge out of the bottom. You don't see it on the top of the table. So they won't sell them, and I understand quality control, and I get that, but they're perfectly good condition. All we got to do is just make the bases for them, and we have ourselves a couple tables.
Yeah, whenever you can get your hand on those big round cable spools, I guess like the Power Company, and we've used them before running coax up the tower. Ones? Yeah, man, those things last forever.
I know. I love those.
You know how many of those I had for tables in my youth? Like every apartment, I had one of those big giant spool tables. Those things are epic. And then if you use, we would drill holes around it, right? And we'd use what do they call it, baby? The stretchy things with the hooks on the end.
Oh, bungee straps.
Bungee straps. We'd put bungee straps all the way around it, right? And then I'd have like a section for books, and then another section because my sons were real little, and so they could put their toys and stuff in there to clean up. It just a nice little table, and then you just
tidy night,
toss a tablecloth right over top that sucker and eat dinner on. I mean,
nobody ever.
So many ways to make those things work.
Good for space savers, yeah. If you're looking like she was saying, books or whatever, and you can make really neat things out of them too. I've seen a couple guys go and take them where they'll get the one end of the spool off, and then they'll have the inside of it, and they put all their where you can lift it up like on a hinge, and it's got a piston on it, and they come up with some really cool ideas for those things. One guy put a subwoofer in it for his home entertainment system. Couldn't tell where a subwoofer was. It was out, but it was out of the way. It wasn't, someone was going to get kicked. So that was kind of neat. We've seen all kinds.
I've seen people turn those into kids' beds and everything.
I've seen another gentleman. He turned his into a water wheel for perpetual, from the stream, and he put an axle in the side of it and did whatever, and then he built paddles on the inside of that, wire spool, and then he built a little wooden water wheel.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey.
Must have been heavy water to push that thing around.
It was the axle he put it on. Was he used 2 front ends of a Cadillac hubs, and then he just went and got a straight shaft, put that in, and then built the bracket for the shaft, and then he could literally just take it, just a couple fingers, and just push it, and it would just sit there and spin and spin and spin and spin and spin and spin. It was real easy. Now, once he opened the water, it took a minute to get it going just because of the weight. And then once it started going, he didn't have any problem with it. And then
I went to a place in Tennessee when I was living there. It was Sioux Falls, I think. Sioux Falls, Tennessee. It's like Sioux Falls.
Yes,
yeah, Falls. Yeah, it would be Sioux Falls, yeah.
Yeah, there's a big, there's a huge water wheel, but that's what reminded me. You was talking about that, man. This place is it's one of the places where they made rope, and they made gear and everything else for the soldiers during the Civil War, and there was a lot of that stuff still set up, how they did everything. It's been a couple of years since I went there. I can't hardly remember, but there was some really cool stuff in there, man. I mean, it was awesome just to kind of step back in time and to see how some of that stuff worked. And they had that huge water wheel like you're talking about, running straight off the creek, and it was awesome.
Free energy at its finest.
You can take the motor out of the washing machine, they say, and that's one of the best power generators that you can use. You just got to do something with the wiring. You got to alter the wiring in some kind of way.
Yep, you just got to switch them. You just got to know which ones to switch them to, but you just got to switch them, and then all of a sudden you're making 120.
Yeah, that's where I lack the knowledge, is to know which ones to switch.
I'm getting to that point. We have
my luck, I'd burn the house down.
Yeah, we have an old fan motor
why you test
that we have up at the shed. This motor is so old that it's got one of those old oil spouts that go down to the bearings, and you pull this whole motor apart and rebuild it, and it's like brand new. So we've been holding on to that one because it has 4 connections, and if we can switch those, then the same thing. We just put a paddle on it, and boom, there we will automatically have a generator. And it'll just run the lights in the shed and a couple, a power tool or so, but it works. I mean,
it's a start.
Guess what, Raina? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's a start. You were saying it would just run.
Yeah.
But,
if you didn't have anything, it's something.
Exactly. That's something as opposed to nothing.
Charge a cell phone, laptop, whatever,
exactly.
Batteries for whatever you need.
I just saw Ship's knife, and it reminded me I wanted you guys, Raina, ask for a survival knife.
Hey, I got a new knife, man. I'm going to show it off real quick.
Yeah, right. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, Raina, one of Raina's friends got a survival knife that's somewhat similar to Mom's, and so she really wants one now.
Old time?
I like that.
That's nice.
Got the whole through blade.
Yeah, a whole stang.
I'm looking to have one made here fairly soon. I'm trying to find a blacksmith locally that does it, but I haven't been able to find one that I like. I like his work enough to pay the kind of money I'm looking to pay to have what I want done.
We got a guy local to us. There she is.
There's Raina. Yeah, I'm looking to get a drop point buoy with a D-guard handle.
You want to show?
And I want it acid etched.
She wants to show. She would like us to show her newest work that she's been working on. Go ahead, tell them who it is and what it is.
So this was from the role play that me and my
friends' names are first.
This was a role play that me and my friends from online did.
Nice.
And it's a scene from a role play that we did last night.
Very cool.
What she means to say is that's her and her boyfriend in their role play skins kissing. But she doesn't want to say that on the camera.
Okay.
But if you look at this, isn't it beautiful how she has created that? I don't know if you guys can see the sparkles. She used her sparkle pens and everything on this.
And she turned so red when you said that.
I know, right?
I know.
So wait a minute. We got the next generation of role players right there. Hold up now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Girl, don't ever stop. But don't get too serious about it because you can get way too wrapped up into it. But I've been doing it for 30 years. So
D&D?
Not D&D. I've done Cyberpunk. I've done some D&D. I've done a homebrew called Riffs. There's a number of them out there. Right now I'm doing Vampires of the Masquerade and Werewolf the Apocalypse, which are a little bit, I think they would be a little bit too much for her right now. But those are the two that I'm working with right now. But those also help me with my writing. They kind of keep the creative juices flowing as far as my writing is concerned.
Yeah, she wanted to start she wants to start a gaming channel, and that's that's actually coming pretty soon. But her and her friends, they will go in and they'll build entire worlds, maps in Minecraft just to go in and role play in them.
Yep, I did one on Facebook for years and years, and it took me about 10 years to do the whole world. I laid out the whole world.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely something you want to keep up with Raina, but you got to be careful with it because it can consume a lot of your time if you're not careful.
Suck you right in.
Yep, it sure can. In fact,
I
that's how I met
used to
my
love the D&D.
that's how I met my fiance. As a matter of fact, when I got engaged. Yep.
All right. Go on.
I shall slide away.
No.
Yes,
don't
ladies
be
and
sliding.
gentlemen, Mutt is a
Around.
big dork, and it's okay. I'm a nerd. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I mean, we've all gone through that at some point, I think. I don't know. I never thought it was an insult when people called me a nerd. I was always happy to be a nerd.
That's true. I might know something more than you.
Because when y'all need help with something, you're gonna come to me. So
Yep, it's the nerd.
that's what I always in high school and stuff. That's how it was, you know.
Yep.
Don't call me anything unless you're calling for dinner.
And don't call me late for dinner.
Bonnie, Raina is also a Minecraft junkie. Her friends, I worry a lot about the kids today. These parents aren't they're not doing a whole lot of it, paying attention to the games that their kids are playing.
Yeah.
And all of her friends her age and even a little bit younger are playing GTA. You guys know what that is?
Guilty.
I
I'm
did
playing
too, though.
GTA 5 right now. Guilty.
You are not an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, or 10-year-old. You know that's a game, not how you live life.
That's a lot of the reason why I'm so
exactly.
Where I was like 10 and 11 years old. That's not a game for a kid. Not at all. Not at all.
No, it's definitely.
And I was back in the.
They start treating each other very, very badly. They get verbally. Some of those kids were starting to get like verbally abusive with her and stuff, and she just didn't have any clue what was going on. She pulled herself away from it for like, I don't know, about 3 weeks, and just didn't want a game because the kids on there were just making her sick with the way they were talking to her and to each other, and she just can't stand people fighting, especially her friends.
Well,
she's real sensitive.
Like I was telling her, make sure she stays away because it is more of an adult. They are more adult themed. The Vampires.
She'll tell you.
And Apocalypse.
She'll be the first one to tell you she's not allowed to play those games. She'll tell you. She tells them too. Stop asking.
Whenever my friends like argue or start fighting, I have to shout into the mic, "Stop fighting!"
Yep. But like you said, I'm not a 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old kid anymore.
Right. Well, and it's, you know what? The games aren't okay. How do I say this? I really don't like GTA. I think that is a terrible game that children should not be playing. I know it's been around for a long time. I don't care.
It wasn't designed, but see, that's just it.
It wasn't designed for kids. I know. I get that. Now, let me say this. Now, with that being said, I don't feel like there's any game that children should be allowed to play just mindlessly online with some of the people that are out there in our world still today. Without the parents being in there going, okay, well, this, and that. All right. Just like the same stuff with whatever your kids are watching, man. It's only going to poison their mind if you're not offering them parental guidance and showing them the things that need to be seen, the lessons that need to be learned. Right.
Yeah. Hey, my kids haven't had video games in more than 2 years, and they only watch TV for a couple hours a night. The rest of the time, they got to break the toys out, break out the notepad, break out the coloring books. It doesn't matter, man. But no, they don't stay glued to a screen around my house. They don't even know what video games are out nowadays. It's been so long.
And I try to explain that to her. I'm like, I know that it makes you feel left out sometimes, but you don't have to fit in. You have to be you. You don't have to fit in with what somebody else's idea of you should be. And so we try all the time to teach her that, and also that you don't have to put up with it. Like, I don't care if that's your friend or not. If they're abusing you verbally, you don't have to put up with that. You have options. You can leave. You can unfriend them, or you can block them if it's necessary. But keep in mind when you do these things, how it affects other people.
And if they're asking you to trade accounts, you report them.
That's right.
People very rarely follow after or have respect for the copycat. You know, if you follow what you believe and only what you believe, and let that have nothing to do with anyone else. If you just follow what you know is right and who you want to be, people will follow you anyway. But that still, it never needs to be your center of focus. You know, your center of focus needs to be making yourself the best that you can be and learning as much as you can learn in whatever you're interested in. That's the best way to go every time.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, you on with your things.
I'm me 100% of the time. You can either accept me for who I am, or you can let the door hit you on the way out. Yeah. That's up to you entirely.
We have to get back to that. I mean, we don't have to, and not this pandering shit that people are doing to each other. You know, that they're trying to turn the CTR crap. You know, that pandering to somebody else because of whatever you're feeling inside. You better get right with you and stand on your own too before you go thinking you're going to pacify somebody else, right? And that's the other, like, I remember growing up where everybody just accepted you for who you were, right? They didn't always agree with you. They didn't always like you, but they accepted you for who you were because you were another human being. You're another earthling. You know what I mean?
You cannot stand tall.
It seems insane to me the short amount of years that it's taken to further divide everything. You know, it boggles my mind that people are that sleepy. Wipe that crusty stuff out of your eyes, man.
I'm going to paraphrase someone that almost everyone in here absolutely loves and adores, and that would be Mr. Zachary Smouse. F your feelings.
Right.
Yeah. I guess his favorite thing to say, isn't it? Zach, F your feelings.
That is Zach. He says that's going to be his campaign motto when he runs.
I vote for him. But honestly, I'd rather see that system get torn down because it is a system. And everything attached to it is poison fruit of that tree.
But what do you replace it with?
Are you kidding me?
I'm asking. I'm asking a genuine question. What do you?
Okay.
I'm not saying that the system is perfect. It is far from perfect. Believe me, I've been in it long enough to know. But what do you replace it with?
Okay. Well, you could. There are many ways to revamp and revitalize an original idea. We all know it. We see it all the time. We do it all the time in our lives, right? We take something and we make it our own. We, the people, have to come together and start at the local levels again, at the very, very near you local levels again, to set up whatever, be it community run. Everybody has to vote. Everybody comes in for a meeting on anything that's produced or whatever. I don't know.
Are you talking about every little thing? Are we going to vote on every little thing? I'm asking.
Do you not think that a land of people should not be able to decide their own laws and rules? I'm not like putting that on you. Don't think I am.
No. I'm trying to understand because everybody talks about do away with the system, and yes,
originally
the system is corrupt, but what did we replace it with?
You don't rebuild a corrupt system.
Nature abhors a vacuum.
There's no way that you plug in a bunch of good people into a corrupt system and get goodness out of it. There's no way to do that.
No, I agree.
The entire system needs to be torn down. Now, can we build a structure? Can we rebuild a structure starting at local levels and going higher in every country? Absolutely, I think we can. Originally, how the American Constitution, Bill of Rights, and all that was written, the power was to the people. The people are the ones that had to vote on these bills. All right. Legislators could come up with them, but the people voted on them for the good of all, right? We don't do that anymore. We let these dumbasses up there in their offices who are stealing all of our funds, which, to be quite frank with you, I would be perfectly happy if we could do away with the fiat system entirely. I know that sounded really, really nasty coming out. Sorry, guys. But I have really strong feelings about the money thing and about how money ties to how people look at you and the classifications they put on you. I have real big problems with that. I always have. And maybe it's because I've never been up there where I haven't been in the judgy group, but whatever. I don't care. The whole system is corrupt, and the things that people do for money, so that they can live, because they're taught from birth that you have to have money to have this, to have that, to have anything. And that's not the way it is. We can trade with each other. We can trade our time. We can trade our goods. We can trade our service. And we could absolutely have a beautiful world if we thought more along those lines, I believe, because everybody has something they can do. You know what I mean?
I'm playing devil's advocate, okay? And so please don't.
That's fine.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm playing devil's advocate because
it might be a pipe dream. It might be a pipe dream, but it's my pipe dream. These have been
questions that have come up in different conversations that I've been in, and I've not heard an answer, and I personally have not had an answer for some of these questions. So I'm curious. Okay, well then let me ask this question. Okay, we go to this trade system or this barter system. You're not going to change an entire planet's system or systems because we all have different, different cultures, different ideologies. How does that work within how does that work within the context of international trade?
Okay. Well, same way it used to work. I mean, think about it. People traded and bartered goods. India would send us cinnamon and curry, and we would send them what? I don't even know what we sent them. Tea and cotton, maybe? I don't know. I know
tea, America cotton, and tobacco were our main three products in the beginning.
Okay, but this is how world economy worked before. We traded this ship of goods for this ship of goods. We have the technology now to make that crap happen. We have the technology now that we shouldn't even need to be exchanging monetary anything on different levels, when we could be doing so much more as a civilization. And like I said, it could be my pipe dream. That's okay. I'll stick with it. I think changing the human consciousness, the human focus from currency to how do we help each other is going to be a key process to making anything better. I mean, first and foremost, let me get that out there. I know everything is what it is. I get that. I'm not hiding my head in the sand. I'm not an ostrich. I don't have feathers. But I like to think I got a good bit of common sense. And even though I realize that I'm thinking big picture, I still believe that it is entirely possible.
What do you say?
Right. I feel like people are so selfish nowadays. And because of that, it would take something really huge to make them see how important that is for the people to have
I think it's going to come to a point where people are going to have that hand of God moment. Because I think it's going to get to that. I think it's going to come to a point where it can only be fixed by divine intervention. And I could be wrong. And it could all be staged. Who knows? All I know is that daily I have to get up and make the best decisions I can for myself, my family, And that's what I do. I try to make the right decisions to speak whatever needs spoken on a show. And that's all any of us can do is search within ourselves. But that's where it starts. And people don't know how to look inward. They don't want to look inward anymore. They want to keep grasping at all these things outside of themselves. And now's not the time for that. We got to let go of that. That thinking is paralyzing an entire civilization. Is this how the ancient civilizations disappeared? Is this how? Did people come to a point where money meant more than loving your neighbor?
No, they just got wiped out by other stronger civilizations.
Okay, but
Power
again,
as well.
Where does that
But that's
aggression, that need to control others, that need to overtake others' lands? It wasn't about
It's about natural resources.
Conquering has never been about helping the land they wanted to conquer. It's never been about that. It's about resources and assets. It's about money. Money. Resources and assets. And that could have been the people, or it could have been the land, or the riches of the land. But and it's Gigi, power.
Sadly, I believe that is in our human nature, and I don't think that you can change human nature because we are.
Greed is not natural to humans. Greed is not a natural. I would argue that greed is not a natural.
I'll argue that point,
human.
but I don't want to.
Yeah, that's.
well. There's a fine point between greed and want.
It feels so good to give. I could see a place in time a long time ago where that was just the way.
The very first sin ever created, and I'm looking at it from a Christian standpoint, so I'm going to change the dynamic here slightly. The very first sin ever committed was over greed. So it is in our very nature to be a greed.
It was over greed? Are you sure? Greed. I would like you to point that out to me, please.
Cain killed Abel. I will. Cain killed Abel.
That was the first sin? I thought that was not the first sin.
The first, okay, you're right. You're right. I stand corrected. The second major sin, if you will, was murder. And that was.
And how was it greed?
Because Cain.
Jealousy, yes.
Greed and jealousy.
Greed, I don't think so.
And jealousy. It was greed and jealousy. Cain wanted what Abel had, which was a closer relationship to Christ, to God, and because his offering was rejected, he killed Abel because he was jealous of Abel.
Hey, I gotta jump in real quick and say I got a little more to do out here before I go home. So
all right, brother. You know what? I didn't mean.
And
y'all, thank you, Ship, for
I'm
coming
not
up, man.
all that,
No, we get it.
You're good, man.
Gotta get
it's
your
all
project
good.
done, man.
Well, we love you, man, and we're glad you stopped.
Let me say this: if it's me, I'll go. Seriously.
No. I mean, seriously, I'm out in the woods, dude. I got shit going on today.
He's doing stuff.
I'm building, man. I gotta go to bed at 6. It's 2:00 now, so I got a little more to do before I head home, and it's just time to roll out. So I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. We miss you. We miss hanging out with you. Stop in when you can.
Coming up soon, man. That weather finally dropped. The temperature finally dropped, so I'm back out in the woods doing stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of uploads coming up.
I was gonna say you'll be doing some trapping here soon.
We'll be looking for you. You guys check out Ship if you haven't seen him yet. Shipwreck. He does some really good stuff over there.
Y'all take it easy now.
And
you too, man. Have a great day.
That's why I'm putting back down from the conversation. So you are correct, Anna Marie. This is going in the wrong direction, I feel. And I feel like it was my fault. So I'm going to rescind.
No.
Nope. This is the way I feel.
Let us turn it into another direction, Mutt.
Yeah.
Let us do this together. Let's show that we can do this because we've done it before, you and I. Have we not?
But I don't want to ever. I'm still hurt over certain people saying that I ruin streams when all I'm trying to do is be me. So I'm going to.
Please don't go down.
You don't have to go down.
Please do not go down, sir.
We'll change it to something else. You have many views.
Let us discuss other things.
It's not that, don't.
I really enjoy your opinions on a lot of things. And
all we got to do is just
listen,
change it. People are getting.
I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to put my mom voice on.
Somewhere else. We got tons of other things to talk about.
I'm going to tell you what I tell my 10-year-old all the time. Just because somebody says something about you or calls you a name does not make you that thing.
No, it doesn't. But it, and at 51 years old, I know that. But I'm tired. I'm tired of being accused because I have different opinions of being accused of intentionally trashing people's channels and ruining streams. So I would just as soon leave than to have people think that.
Please don't leave. There's nobody on here that wants you to leave. Do you want me to pop up all the comments wanting you to stay?
No, I'm reading them.
Oh, you want to text her real quick?
Yeah.
Just you're fine. We can go into something else. It's not that big a deal. And there's a coffee cup up there on top of here. You squeeze in there? Can you get in there?
No.
All right, I'll stay, but it really does bother me.
Well, I mean, I don't feel that way. What I really love about you, Mutt, is this, that we can have an honest conversation and you can give it to me from your point of view and I can tell you from my point of view, and we may not always agree, and that is okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it gives other people that are watching this later on something.
We are broadening people's minds, just being able to have the conversation and shake hands and walk away with love. A lot of people can't do that. And you guys, we're all very passionate people about our beliefs. Every one of us. And you should be. That's the way it should be. And neither one of us is trying to convince the other that we're right. We are just having discussion.
Exactly.
Well, my opinion is my opinion, and you can take that and $2 and get a cup of coffee at 7-Eleven, or now probably McDonald's.
$2 to buy a cup of coffee out there in the big wide world, does it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be Starbucks coffee, which is garbage.
Right?
You probably ain't getting nothing at Starbucks but a toothpick for $2.
I don't want anything from Starbucks.
Better have mint or cinnamon flavoring on it too. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to ruin Starbucks for you. You know who owns part of Starbucks?
No, huh?
Gil Bates.
I've never been. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, well, we don't shop there anyway. Ever.
Well,
no,
his father actually gave the startup money for that to the guy that actually started Starbucks, and now Gil owns part of the company.
Who was that again?
Bill.
Gil Bates. Yes, that's a trigger word
Bates.
on some channels, so I reverse the lettering.
Thank you.
Pig Latin.
Pig. Well, go Pig Latin. Yeah, there you go.
Pig pay Attenway?
Ilbaggy.
Eight's gay.
Eight's gay.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's right, Don. We're all on the same side. And we really are. So, I mean, if you guys feel like we are getting off track, I do apologize. But, this is a place where we like to have these open conversations. You don't find open conversation in a lot of places anymore.
No.
And if you can't have open conversations, that's what we were just talking about, how people have stopped learning how to respect other people as people, that they don't have to agree, but we do need to love and respect each other.
Where we're at today. We don't discuss things. We need to discuss things.
Me either, Pappy. Me either. So what do you guys want to talk about next?
Yeah, give us another subject.
Yeah, give us another subject. Mr. Mojo Rising. Mojo Man.
Music.
I've never seen him before, but he's got rabbit holes. You want to go down a rabbit hole. Jeez, man. I don't know, because everybody says they want to go down rabbit holes and they get to a certain point and they stop digging and they're like, oh, look, I found all the answers. And I'm like,
no, that's when I know I got to turn
dig a little bit deeper. If you feel like you have all the answers, then you have all the answers they've given you and you're not really researching. You should always have more questions.
Always.
Seriously.
2 sides, 3 sides, 4 sides to every story.
At least that's how I feel.
In a
I'll
always question.
3 sides to every story. Your side, my side, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth.
Yep.
There you go.
And that comes from perspective. It's not that either one of us would be lying, but you may see a triangle where I see a square, and it's all about where we were standing.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with right or wrong. That's why, and people get upset, I think, sometimes when I say truth is perception. Truth is perceptual. It is not factual necessarily, but it is still truth. But it is perceptual. Because your truth can only be spoken from you. I can't speak your truth. I can only speak my truth. Right? So, right, Mojo Man? Listen, they tell us stuff, and everything that they've ever shown us, they've told us something. You just have to be savvy. Savvy. Yeah, we saw that, Don. Red Castle, Green Castle. I'm waiting for the Gold Castle. You know, that yellow light.
Well, as an Irishman, I would have preferred it be green,
Real quick.
orange, or white. But, hey, that's me. Don't you know, Pappy, you're not supposed to eat anything you find down in a rabbit hole. It got quiet all of a sudden.
Sorry about that.
Wait, what's your cool? What time is it again?
It is 3:08.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Check the pool.
And Mojo Man said X-Files, the answer is out there. I would argue that the answer is in here.
Anna, I don't disagree with you entirely.
And Mojo Man said X-Files. Welcome up, Pappy.
Just my way of saying things aren't as they appear sometimes.
Yeah. No doubt. I thought it was a Raisinette once too, but I was wrong.
Pardon me.
I made that little joke there about the rabbit hole, but I'll tell you something as a real life joke. For a period of time, I worked in a retirement home, old folks home, and I was walking down the hallway one day, and people come in, they visit their families and stuff, and they're constantly bringing them in, candy and everything else and stuff. So I looked down on the floor, and I swear to God, there were malted milk balls on the floor. Come to find out, it had come out of one of the elderly's depends, and she had been leaving a trail back to her room. And that's a true story.
Oh, that's great.
You know the best way to clear a public pool? Pappy, do you know the best way to clear a public pool?
Yeah, take a Baby Ruth and unwrap it and throw it in a pool.
There you go. Baby Ruth or an Almond Joy.
Almond Joy's got nuts. Milestone. Sorry. I'm a child of the 80s. What can I say?
I thought I'd jump on here. I got about 10, 15 minutes, and then I got to get ready to spruce up a little bit and go outside.
Well, we are with you. We're with you, Pappy. I hope you can feel the love.
I found my teeth.
All right, looking sharp.
I gotta see this. Hold on a minute here.
Hold on.
He'd be looking rough.
All right, you gotta show him your
look at that.
white smile.
Look at that.
Hey, look at that.
I don't know why I bother have to wear a stupid face diaper anyways.
Oh, boy. get you one of those face shields. You get them from the restaurants, and they go. The holder is right here on your chin, and the shield is. Let's see if you guys can see that. Can you see that? The shield comes out like this.
You know how many things I'd slam my face into, turning around like that?
Exactly.
Well, they're
You know,
clear.
well,
They're
close to
perfectly
things.
clear shield, and it's
Yeah,
just like
I
a
know.
little half shield on the bottom part of your face. But if you wear one of those, I mean, in place of a mask, they really don't say anything to you.
Nope.
Just
Yeah,
an idea.
all you got to
Here,
do.
they don't say anything if I don't wear the mask.
And your glasses don't fog up.
All you got to do is spit up your coffee one time, and it's worthless.
Yep.
The shield's good though. You might get bad coffee back on you, but
Well, if you're wearing that while you're drinking coffee, you're probably trying to drink out of that backside of the cup.
that's not a good way to go.
Oh,
All right.
oh, absolutely, Anna. You're welcome
gotta
to come
go.
up.
Through the pool. Get a few things done here before I go pick my brother up from work.
Any of y'all are welcome to come up and join the conversation. It's always been that way.
Trying to get the last of the leaves out of the pool. I'll be back.
$1965 South Pole. What's that, Goob? Should I be looking into that? Man, you guys are talking stuff in the chat, and I'm not even catching up.
Hey, Gigi, when you're done cleaning those windows, I've got a couple here that I can't. I'm short, so can't quite reach. So if you want to head down this way, I don't. That's the one thing I don't do is I don't do windows.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, hon. How are you?
Good. Hey, Celtic, I wasn't trying to dump your case or nothing. It just
No.
it
I didn't
felt
take it that way
negative.
at all.
I'm sorry. I wanted to quick share a story with you guys because Pappy brought up the rabbit droppings. My ex-mother-in-law was born in Canada. They lived up by Alberta, and she had a cousin. His name was Lawrence. And Marge changed her name from Florence to her middle name, Marjorie, because when she was a little girl, her cousin Lawrence went up to visit from the United States and said, I can show you where the Easter Bunny leaves all the chocolate. So he took her into a bunch of bushes and started handing her all these little round chocolates, and she went to eat them. Well, you know what they were.
Oh God.
So thereafter, her name was Marge instead of Florence. She didn't want her name to rhyme with his. I just thought I'd share that with you. I thought you'd think that was funny.
That's terribly hilarious. I mean, it's awful, but it's hilarious.
It just shows how naive we are when we're, it was so cute when she
You know what's interesting, Anna, is that Native Americans are super resourceful, and it started up in Canada. The Native Americans would go out and collect moose droppings, and they would either polyurethane them or they'd shellac them, and they made necklaces out of them, and they sold them to the tourists and stuff. Honest to God,
Yeah.
and you can probably still buy them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Just be
probably
careful and
even
say, I got
shaped them
jewelry.
and everything.
If somebody tells you that they got jewelry from Moose Falls, Montana, be very wary.
Moose Balls, Montana. Oh my God.
That
Okay,
is
thank
funny.
you.
First
I
of
have
all, I'm
two-
not buying
Two
anything
things
from.
to do. I'm going to jump out.
All right. Well,
First of
thanks
all,
for dropping
Kathy, I'm
up,
not
hon.
buying
That was
anything.
hilarious.
From Moose Balls. Just like I don't buy anything from Possum Bottom.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Don't sit down to some of my relatives there. We give them funny names. I got a cousin. We named him Wet South Wind.
That's wrong. That is so wrong.
Yep.
That's great. Oh my. I always wanted to get a Native American name when I was younger and stuff, and I never knew like
Don't get one from me.
Well,
my son's native name is Jahalu, which means little bear.
Right on.
And my daughter is
his name Ronnie by any chance?
No, my son's name is Tyler.
Okay. Well, I had to ask because there's this Ronnie. I can't remember what his last name is that I ran into many, many years ago, and he was a native fella, but he knew common law, and he was helping people fight CPS to get their kids back. And he was Ronnie Little Bear something, and I can't remember his last name. And I remember everybody called him Little Bear. We all called him Little Bear.
My son is Little Bear because he was a preemie. He was 5 weeks and a day early. But at 5 weeks and a day early, he was still 6 pounds 12 ounces and 19 inches long.
Nice. He was healthy.
He was a good sized boy, yeah. And now he's 6'2", 235.
Yeah, my baby started out tiny. My boys started out tiny and grew into like miniature giants. You know,
well,
they're both real big, tall, strong fellas.
He gets the height from his mother's side of the family. Everybody on my side is short. My father, my grandfather, and I were all the exact same height.
Oh wow, that's actually an oddity.
Yeah, we were all exactly the 5'7.5".
Wow, I'm the shortest, smallest person in my family on either side, I think.
My daughter is taller than I am at 5'9".
I'm like literally the runt of the litter, but that's okay because I got a big, strong heart.
I was the runt of our litter too, but you know what? I'm also the oldest, so I had the biggest head. So I didn't get pushed around too much.
There you go.
I have two brothers that are Samoan because they're fosters that got adopted. My parents adopted. Tommy and Malik are 6'5" and 6'6", 290 and 285 pounds, respectively.
Wow.
Massive guys. And I ended up with the nickname of him too fat. How does that work?
Because it was him too fat was better than him too small.
Yeah, well, him too fat.
Take your blessings where you get them.
And we jokingly spell it. Yep. HYM and then TUPHAT.
Oh, that's funny. You know, they have a very fascinating culture, the Samoans. A lot, man. I have always had a very deep and fascinating interest in indigenous peoples from all over the world, but not like what National Geographic would tell me about them. Like, always wanted to go and just sit with those people to see how the community worked right together, to see how that spirit of community really upheld and healed those people, you know, and how, I don't know. I've always been super fascinated by it. Wanted to, you know, when I was young, before I had even thought about having children, I wanted to travel the world and meet all the indigenous tribes and learn how to speak all their languages. That was one of my dreams. And
you were saying something the other day about the Cherokee word
be
for
well,
love.
Pappy, we love you.
Did you know that they actually have 7 words for that single word, for that one word?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I say the Cherokee have 7 words for the single word love.
Do they have 7 definitions as well?
Yes, each one means something different. There's parental love, there's spousal love, there's love for your children. Um, I don't remember all of them. It's been so long since I've looked into it, and I haven't used my Cherokee as much as I should since I got divorced. Um, to be honest,
Well, you
but I
should
know
you should
that
be totally teaching me some Cherokee. I would love to learn some Cherokee.
like the spousal term for the spousal word for love is the spousal phrase is Gegawe,
Igawe.
which is the spousal love. Gegawe, yep.
Igawe. Well, what am I saying when I say me naikamoy? What am I saying? What am I expressing? Because I think I'm expressing like I love you, like
naikamoy?
Universal love. Like
That's
I
just
see
an
you.
overall. That's a communal.
Okay, so I'm using it in the proper
that's what it is. It's a
way
universal communal.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yeah. But like, if you were to say Gegawe to Jeff, you would be telling Jeff that you loved him.
Right. But in that more like my
you were
spirit
doing
sees
it
your
right.
spirit.
I was just saying that I thought it was interesting that they have 7 different words for what we use one word for.
Yeah,
because
but you know what? Maybe that's the way it was actually meant to be, because there are many different facets to that emotion, right?
No, I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
That's what I think that the English language has bastardized and mutated into, and I won't even say the English language, because I have a girlfriend she's from England and she corrects me all the time. No, Scott. You do not speak English. You speak American.
Yes, but you do know that the English language in and of itself was based on the Phoenician language, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know them Phoenicians are bad folks, right? I mean, like, probably there's some good ones there, but overall they are more along the lines of insinuating and taking over from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Sound familiar to anybody?
Not at all.
Just saying. And if you look at a Phoenician language chart, you can see a lot of the sigils from the Phoenician language chart really do coincide with how the English language was set up.
Well, what's ironic to me?
See, I used to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I find it interesting that even when we do our numbers, it's not ours. It's Aramaic. Our numbers on our numbers on a clock are Aramaic, unless it's done in the Old English style. But even that has Aramaic. I'll learn to talk again next week. First day, new mouth. Tendencies.
Well, and I mean, a lot of this stuff goes back even further than that, and we don't know it yet. You know, even the people who are supposed to be the protectors of our history have changed our history.
Tell me about it.
Right now, I'm rather in a passionate grip of exploring that history deeper and trying to find more roots. So I will let you guys know what comes of that when I'm done, but that'll be a while because there's a whole lot to dig into. But wowzer, what's already been uncovered for me, I can't speak on it yet because I haven't made all the connections. But once I make the connections and once I have certain things in hand, then I'll talk about it. But
there is a term you use for a forgotten, well, I say forgotten culture, and I cannot think of what it is now. And I want to say that you had at one point tied it to Atlantis, but I might be wrong about that. When I hear it again, I'll know it. But it's definitely something that has my ear perks every time you say it, but now at the moment it just eludes me, and I can't think of the term or the civilization.
Was it Lemuria? Mew?
No.
Tartaria?
Bingo.
Tartaria? There
Tartaria.
is more. There is so much more that we don't know. And I don't. When we had Raina, Jeff and I had already agreed that we were going to homeschool her.
That's the one thing I wish I had done.
Yeah. I had, I pick up a lot of books and stuff. You guys always hear me check out the thrift stores, check out their library, find those books that you want, but for like really a whole bunch less cost. And I started, Chuck, you want to come up and talk about it? The Atlantis Factor. I would love to talk about that. The books that I found, like I always search for the oldest books, right? And I found a history book from the 50s, from the 60s. And then I had a history book from late 70s, and then a history book that I found from the mid 80s.
And you can't see me shaking my head, yes. Remember, I told you I collect history books.
Yeah, in that very short time frame.
Yep.
Right? In that very, very short time frame, less than 2 decades worth of information, they had already changed our history dramatically. Dramatically.
Yep.
And look what they did with our Constitution. Oh, now we find out there's 2 constitutions.
No,
really?
No.
Well, but here's the thing. There is. But one was for the corporation. It's how they incorporated us under maritime law, which, may I point out, maritime, all countries are right now under maritime law. All the countries are. Okay, whether they know it or not, whether their civilians are aware of it or not, they are under maritime law. And maritime, howdy. How do I say this? The Phoenician were a maritime people. The digger you dig, the deeper you dig, the more you find, the more questions you have. And that's why I'm always saying, if you think that you've hit the bottom of that and you don't have any more questions, you need to come up with some more, because where they want you to stop, they try to smooth it over and be like, yep, this answered everything. If you're not constantly asking more questions, you are not going to be driven to find those truths. And search within, because a lot of truth will come to you from searching within. Even Christ said that, right? He said, it's not without, it's within. It's within. The key is right here. The key is inside you. The key is the spirit, that divine light, that spark of light that the Creator gave you. So anyway, that was me coming back full circle.
But no, I had never heard of Tartaria. You were the first one that
I was like,
mentioned that.
So what have you found out? Anything? Have you done any historical digging on Atlantis or Lemuria?
Me personally, no, I have not.
No?
I'm my general field of study was American history specifically, and more towards the Civil War through Reconstruction, which in and of itself is there's a lot more to it than people realized.
There always is. There always is
a lot more that's
Look,
there.
I'll just say this outright. This is not the first reset they've done on us.
Oh no.
If you think for a second that they're not going to hide this from the next generation, if they can pull it off, they're going to. They're absolutely going to, because when they tell their story, that's how they get control of the folks. This is not our first reset. If you think back, to the late 1800s, early 1900s, where all those orphan trains. We had all these
the
orphan
orphan
children
trains.
everywhere.
You've got the orphan
Right?
trains. You've got what was it? They weren't just orphan trains. What was it? Orphan coffins, I believe.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
another one. I would venture to say, and there are going to be people in the chat who are going to disagree with me, and that is okay. I would venture to say that one of the pre-resets that we experienced prior to the one that we're going through now started in 1861 with
Where do you come up
Abraham
with that
Lincoln.
time frame? Can I ask where you came up with that?
Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
Think about what he did. He suspended habeas corpus. He took away the rights of free speech. He subjected attempted to subject his own personal will on quote unquote the American people, up to and including an entire country that had succeeded from his tyranny, i.e., the South.
So you studied American history, so I'll try to keep this locked into that subject since you have some knowledge on that. What is your thoughts about the founded cities of America? More specifically,
Yes.
what are your thoughts about the cities built on top of cities that predate our recorded American history?
I believe that those cities were probably from civilizations that went before us that were being covered up by the more quote unquote modern cities.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I get the dodginess in that one.
What?
I said, I get the dodginess.
I'm only
I'm
being
just picking
dodgy
on you,
because
I'm picking. I'm just
I'm
picking
only
on you,
being
honey.
dodgy because I'm on your channel and I don't want to get you a strike.
Well, listen, I would love to,
You're all right, man.
some point, somewhere in time, I would like somebody to reach out to me if you guys are interested in a debate like this, or we can have several people on the panel. I'm going to lay it down first, though. There will be no arguing. There will just be open discourse. But I want to have an open discourse on round Earth, flat Earth. I want to have an open discussion where people are not going to argue and fight about it, but that we can all just present what we have learned and what we think.
I'm going to ask you straight out. Are you a flat earther?
I don't wear that label. I don't wear any labels.
Well,
geez, haven't you been hanging around long enough yet?
Yes. Okay, I'll rephrase the question then. Others consider you a flat earther.
I consider a lot of things.
I consider a lot of others consider you that.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if they consider me that or not. I feel like there is way more to it than we are being told, and I believe that anybody that thinks that any one thing has been debunked or entirely accepted should always look deeper, because I feel like it might be somewhere in between.
I agree with you, Dawn. Dawn, I agree with you 100%. He did settle it when we were kids.
I must have missed that one. Bugs Bunny, how did he settle it?
I thought Bugs Bunny settled that when I was a kid. I said, yeah, I agree with that.
So it's duck hunting season? Wait a minute.
Rabbit season. Duck hunting season. Rabbit season.
Ronan, I would love to see the books. Absolutely.
Well, this is what we need. That's why we
But
have to have
I
an
mean,
open discussion.
I would really love to have some open discourse about it so I can learn more too.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's how we all learn. And it's not about anybody trying to convince anybody that their way is right or that their thought process is right, but just to have the discussion, you know?
Can I ask a question, Heather? Why do you think I was being dodgy? Why do you said you...
Because of the way you worded it. Because Yeah, I use that word, but not in a negative connotation.
Okay, no, I was just curious because I wasn't trying to dodge it as much as I was trying to protect your channel.
Because you were doing what I do. You were answering around the words we're not allowed to use. You were answering around the concepts we're not allowed to use. But that's what, and I understand that. So I was only using that in the most literal sense of the word, not in a negative connotation.
I was just making sure that you didn't think I was purposely being evasive to your question.
Not at all. Not at all. Okay. I respect that because, I do that a lot too when I feel like there are certain things that I cannot speak out loud yet because I know that they will not be received well because I haven't figured out how to put it where it'll be received.
That's why I go to YouTube, because that way I can say what I want to say and don't have to worry about it getting knocked down. That's why I'm such a big proponent of those of your spot and your tube. They are, I absolutely love them because they do not censor you over there. Now, there are exceptions to that. You're not going to go over there and have a bunch of pedophilic, idiots over there or anything. There are things that are common sense, but as far as
I would love to have all you guys involved in this conversation, honestly, because I think it's an important conversation that we all do need to have. Hey, Ronan, good to see you again.
Hi, guys.
I still think you should call in over there. Was that my home state flag?
It is.
That sure looked like it.
It's also my home state flag.
Hi, neighbor.
I just wanted to show you guys this real quick because I have these. I don't know if you could see them. So these are the Americana books, like the old encyclopedias. I have a whole
I have those
of them here. So if you notice right here, I'm going to try to get this in focus. So 1967 was the last year they had the eagle on that book, spine. And then in 1968 going forward, it was the globe or flat earth or whatever you want to call it. But I just wanted to hop on and share that with you guys real quick.
Ronan,
I thought that was interesting.
I actually have those, and you're right. I never
awesome.
thought about that.
Sorry,
I actually got them from my mother.
So goofy. Yeah, I picked them up at an estate sale a while back, and I read through them and just kind of try to pick through the lies, because that's in ink. They can't change that, But I just found that very interesting, and I thought it might pertain to this conversation since you guys were talking about that, and I wanted to share real quick.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
So are you guys interested in that? Because I know when I originally said something about flat earth, everybody kind of just went like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, Heather, we're not interested. But don't you think that those are conversations we need to have?
I think
there are a lot of questions out there that people on both sides ask. And I think that
this, I am not a flat earther.
And that's okay. I think that the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle.
I don't think the earth is round either. I think it's more elongated.
I think if you think about the pyramids. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, if you look at the pyramids, you have three, the major ones in Giza, you have three. They each have four sides, and each one of those sides, like on the Great Pyramids, they are kind of concaved in. So I just kind of like broadening our horizons. It seems like flat earth or round earth are only two options. But if you look throughout history, and if you look at that shape, that pyramid shape, I find it very interesting. And because there's three there that can represent several things with four sides, that's 12 months out of the year, four sides, 4 seasons type of thing. So that's just kind of, I want to expand people's minds. I think we're stuck on it's either flat or round. And I think the truth is we've been lied to a lot about all of it. So
yeah, I would love to have that conversation.
Why can't it be flat and round? You can't have a flat round circle?
Well, this is what I'm saying. We all think different things. Why can't we get together and have a conversation about things that we've discovered and what our perception of them is, And it's not that we are trying to convince anybody else of our beliefs. It's just that we want to have an open discourse, and maybe we can enlighten each other a little bit. You know, I mean, I love that kind of thing. To me,
let's go, Brandon.
That's how we should be approaching all of this, is that we should be having open discourse about it without arguing or trying to convince, because all we're doing is sharing what we have found, right?
Yep.
So, and without anybody going, oh, that's wrong, or oh, that's right, or you know, just let's pull the bullshit out of the way and have open discourse, because I'm super interested in this stuff right now. And I want to learn more, and I have not stopped asking questions. There are no absolute answers for me yet, and I haven't gotten there. So I am completely and totally interested in the information that other people have come across, so that maybe it enlightens me, maybe it changes how I look at something, or maybe I'm going to start studying with a different perspective. So all these things, I think, will help all of us if we can just do it.
If I may play devil's advocate for just 1 minute to answer Dawn Light's
question. If you keep advocating for that guy, I might have to kick you out, Mud. Don't advocate for that guy. Just play opposing fields. Don't play devil's advocate. Play opposing fields.
How about, can I play advocate for a
be your own
opinion?
advocate?
Yeah. How about
absolutely
advocate for a different opinion? Okay. She says, if the Earth is flat, then why doesn't the ocean water run off into outer space? Let me give you a possible reason why. Gravity and the effects of evaporation would be why the Earth does not have the water flow off the end of it. Just a thought.
But I actually have to take my dog out and feed him, and I still have chores yet to do. I'm not done, but I wanted to pop in real quick and show you guys the spines of those books, because something happened around that time where that changed even what we learned in school, right? And I think what that something might be is communism. In the very first pages of that book, in the 1968 one, it starts talking about it. So we know history is told by the victors, right?
Yep.
So we have to keep an open mind on, regardless of what the subject of discussion may be, because a lot of times we like to hold on to what we taught because we're comfortable with it. And, as long as we're keeping an open mind, we can still grow as people and as a society and be more peaceful, I think. But I love you guys, and I'm gonna hop down here. As you guys play on my radio and stuff while I'm walking through the house, so I hear you guys. If I pop in, that's why.
Ronan, let me say something.
Thank you, Ronan.
Let me say something to you real quick before you leave. Thank you for what you said earlier.
No problem.
I was really struggling with that because I was really upset, and I didn't hear what you said. So
don't worry about it. I know who you are. I love you, brother. All right, I'm gonna run. Bye.
Right.
All right. Thanks, Ronan. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll schedule out a day. I'd like to have you guys reach out to me, send me an email if you're interested in joining the discussion. And then we'll set up a day where everybody that's interested can come have that conversation. If you guys want to do this off air, we can have a private off air show, and I can send you guys links.
I think that would probably be best in order to keep.
That way we can speak freely.
Strike. Yeah.
Well, it's not. I don't care about a strike. I really don't. But I want everybody to be able to speak openly without having to censor themselves or their thoughts for being afraid that somebody else is going to attack them or anything like that. I don't want any of that. And the only way I know to cut out that negativity is to hey, let's start a show. And then guess what? We cut off the live stream and we all stay backstage.
Been there, done that a few times.
It's just because these are important conversations. And someday I hope we can post the whole conversation online where people can go, wow, these people are really cool. They really know how to talk to each other and share their ideas, even though their ideas are different. So, I mean, right, Anna, open mind. Open minds have room for expansion. That's right, honey. Yep. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong. We've been tabooed away from talking about it. Just like, your conspiracy theory, if you think such and such happened or such and such was hidden, or I don't think that at all. Quit putting labels on yourself. Quit letting other people label you. Rip them labels off, people. Get away from the labels and get down to what's real within you, because it's each person. We're all beautiful souls, and we can only work with what we got. But what we do have is each other. And that expanded consciousness is, no, I don't need it, Robert. Thank you. I'm the one that sent it to you, brother, remember? But, yeah, I mean, to me, it's very fascinating things. And if we think of all the lies, the many multiple lies that they've told us, it's all about controlling us. And if we can uncover how they have controlled us, can we not then weaponize their own information against them? Maybe that's not the right way to look at it, but not going to lie. Sometimes I go into a research project with that mindset. Like, okay, their symbols will be their downfall. All right. Well, the lies that they've told can be their downfall as well, if we can just uncover them, So, why not? Why not? Take our power back. Take our free thinking, beautiful brains back. Take our purity of spirit back. And stop letting these people have any control over you. Any control. Just don't do it anymore. Yeah, we all have to, I know, conform to the system a bit in day-to-day life. I get that, right? But don't conform your spirit. Don't let your spirit be conformed just because somebody else told you that's what needed to happen. My God, use that beautiful brain you got. Everybody has one. Everybody's got a beautiful brain and a beautiful heart and a beautiful spirit. And your best teacher is going to be your spirit. So
I'm going to say
that's my opinion.
I'm going to say this to the chat. If I can come up with some of the stuff that I come up with, and I literally only have about a half a brain left, 20 brain operations, long story. Those of you who have a beautiful, healthy brain should be able to come up with a whole lot more.
But you're using a higher percentage of your brain now, right?
Yeah.
There's always a positive.
Oh, I know. And I still dabble with it. I was told when I was in the 4th or 5th grade that I would never amount to anything, that the teacher, this was the teacher telling me this, that they did not believe that I would even graduate high school, let alone go to college.
Wow.
Yeah, because of my learning disabilities, I'm graphlexic and dyslexic. I can both read. I was 40 years old before I realized that the word ambulance was written backwards on an ambulance. But I still manage.
I can read backwards.
I read backwards as well, better than I do forward.
That's a gift. See,
I read backwards better than I do forwards.
While you're talking about this, I need to interject this little thing.
Sure, go ahead.
What Mutt's telling you. Like my brother, they made my one brother who has a he's got a small mental retardation. They made him take kindergarten twice because he wrote with his left hand. They failed him in kindergarten because he wrote with his left hand. And that was in the mid-'70s. And, yeah. And I'm left-handed. So, good luck with that, people. They couldn't change mine. There was no change in mine. But in that span of a year, because my brother, he's only 19 months older than I am. So, yeah, in that span of a year, that next year when I went into kindergarten, there was no such thing. I think maybe my mom went down there and let loose on him or something, because when I got in there, I never got my finger smacked. I got my butt paddled one time in kindergarten, and that was because I screamed because somebody opened the bathroom door while I was on the toilet. So I got in trouble for it. But nobody else ever touched me after that because my mom and dad went down to the school.
Yep.
And I was raised Pentecostal apostolic. And that didn't set well with my parents at all. At all.
Nope.
So, but Einstein, as a child, his teachers sent a note home to his mother saying that he was stupid and ignorant, and that he could not be taught.
Yep.
That he could not be taught. Einstein.
Yep.
So, just because somebody else doesn't understand your gifts doesn't mean they're not valuable and important. You know?
I did take a bit of solace in the fact that when I graduated from college, that I was able to find this teacher and go back and briefly hand her, just so she could read it, my diploma.
Nice.
Which states
probably know more about what's actually going on in the world than she does at this point, because you have an open mind.
She's now deceased, but yeah. But yeah, there was a little bit of I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Sweet revenge.
I think what you're looking for is validation.
Maybe.
And not that you were looking for validation, but that you were able to provide validation for your own worth to the person who told you that you didn't
prove to her
have
that I was more than she thought I would be.
Yeah. And we all, I mean, it is really, it's so sad to me that we inadvertently poison our children with things like that. I remember my mom and dad telling me I'd never be an artist. My big dream was to be an artist. I'd never be an artist. I was not as good as my brother Ira. I just would never be that good. I'd never be as good as him. Well, he's 6 years older than me. Of course I wouldn't. I was always playing catch up, right? But, you know, and as a child, that hurt me immensely. And that stole my dream away. I have since, of course, reactivated it because, right? For lack of a better statement, I think that people don't even realize, like, when you ask a child what's wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with that child. You can ask them instead, what are you thinking? Not what's wrong with you. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? I mean, because we're all parents. We all have those, oh my God. Right?
What are you thinking?
Come out and there's a pile of glitter and the stickiest stuff you've ever seen.
Actually, Anna Marie,
I don't know.
Yeah, she was. She actually apologized. She remembered having the conversation, and she actually apologized to me. So, yeah. So I guess there was, as Heather was saying, there was some validation there. But as far as your friend with the multiple sclerosis, I have hydrocephalus, and I've had 20 brain operations, and they've had to do all kinds of crazy things to my brain to keep the spinal fluid flowing, as it were. So that's a very Reader's Digest version of what I've gone through. But yeah, I can definitely relate to your friend.
Yeah. Well, you guys, we're going to wrap it up today. Mutt, thank you for the wonderful conversation. I love talking to you because we're both very passionate people. And I know that comes across, and some people take it as we're arguing with each other. But really, I think it's just that we're both so passionate. But I love talking to you. I love our conversations. And please don't ever think you're not welcome here, because you are. You are very welcome here. And
that means more to me.
It's important to have these conversations with differences of opinion. It's totally important that we can, as adults, sit here and have these conversations, you know. There's nothing that should be holding us back from that at all. And the only thing at this point is censorship. So if we can talk around censorship, we can have any conversation we want.
Yep, agreed. But I wanted to say thank you. That meant what you just said meant a lot. As I said before, the individual, and there was only one that said anything to me about it. It cut me to a quick to think that I had, quote unquote, and I'm using their words, ruined your stream and possibly ruined your channel. And
I'm sorry that happened. I really am. Recently, there have been some of our community who have hardened their hearts toward us, and it hurt me very badly. And I'm having to let that go. I'm having to mourn it as a loss.
I agree. I can understand that. So for me to have thought that I had done that to you and Jeff, it wrecked me. That's why I stayed gone for a while.
Well, I'm sorry that happened, hun. I really am. Because I love our conversations because you're not scared to tell us your point of view. And I respect that. I really respect that in people, that we can share differences of opinion openly. I love that. That's what we should be doing more of. That's how we join together.
Finding the common ground more than the differences.
Exactly. And you know what? That is a valid and vital point, really. And in today's day and age, right now, in this now space time, right? We do need to look more for our commonalities than our differences. We need to look more about our similarities than our differences. And that is how you see with Eyes of Love. And I know we all talk about it, but you have to put it into practice. And I think conversations like anytime that we talk, we have great conversations. We go all over the place. And I love that because I'm a little woo. Anyway.
I'm a lot woo.
But I mean, we really need to, and people need to see those kind of conversations because it gives them a platform from which to develop their own approach to having those conversations, So, yeah, I think we keep going. We keep having them, even the hard ones. And those are going to come about, and they may be rough, and we may all get emotional. But guess what? We all still love each other at the end of the day. And that's what we need to always, always lead with and always, always leave with. So.
All right. Well, I've got to bounce. I've got to take care of some things here, but I wanted to tell everybody to have a good day. Heather, thank you for having me up. Tell Jeff I said to have a good day as well. I know he said he had to go pick somebody up. So I'm going to bounce, but everybody please have a good day, and I will talk to you all later.
Awesome. Thank you, Mutt. And, anytime, brother, you can come up here. We love you, man.
Appreciate that. Love
you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
And all of you out there in chat land, family and friends, I wish you all a very beautiful day. As Robert would say, have an epic day. Keep sending that love light out to Pappy, please. Let's keep him lifted up. Take a few minutes right now. Stop listening to me. And give Pappy some love, okay? Pappy Two Bears needs us, and we need to have his back on this. All right, love you all. Have the best, brightest, beautiful day that you can. Love you, Liz. And we are going to set up that conversation, even if we set it up in a private meeting. So you guys reach out to me, okay? If you have my number, text me. If you have my email me, and let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited. Have a great day. See a lot of you guys around the circuit. And Jeff Red will be coming on in a few minutes.
Later, y'all.
Later.